Alright, I'm gonna do something a little bit different for this one. See, this channel is dedicated mainly to helping foreigners handle their money while living in Korea. So, for the body of the content, it's important for me that every episode remains specific to the expat or overseas worker experience. However, in the following episodes, I'm going to start talking about investing in the Korean market. So, before I do, I want to give you some no nonsense info that'll help you decide whether or not you want to invest in the first place. You're watching Sekider, and this is interlude 1. Why? Now, we've already gone over a number of ways you can handle your money once you get your paycheck. You can open a new account and save it directly. You can buy some 상품권 and save the rest in a separate account. Or you can just spend it online and gain points that translate into cash eventually. Also, for most people, putting money away in a savings account is enough. It provides none of the risks of investing and guarantees a return in the future. Many others, however, are not satisfied with simply 1 or 2% gains every year, and for good reason. Now, whether you studied finance or not, there's a good chance that you've heard of the concept of inflation, but 100% you've been affected by it. In short, inflation is the rise in prices of goods over time. This happens for a number of reasons, such as increased demand without increased supply, or increased prices of production, making supply more expensive. Inflation is the reason why one roll of kimbap is double the price that it was 5 years ago. And it's a necessary consideration to make when you're opening a savings account. So, yeah, let's do a thingy. So imagine you put 1 million won in a bank account that's guaranteed to pay you 2% after 1 year. You wait for the account to mature, and bang bang, 1 year later, you have 1,020,000 ready to go. That's the part of savings accounts that everybody loves. You know what you're going to get, and you know when you're going to get it. And this is 10-4 until you realize that over the past year, inflation has increased the cost of living by 1%. So while you were gaining money, the money itself was losing value. Your 2% gain in volume has lost 1% in value to inflation. So your real net gain is actually only 1%. If you factor in taxation and opportunity costs, your 2% drops even below that. And instead of using your money to gain money, what you've actually done is simply maintain the buying power of the money that you had in your account, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's also why I'm a really strong supporter of those 상품권s that I keep talking about, because rather than your money slowly losing value, you can increase the buying power of every one that you earn immediately. Now, I don't want this to come off as a knock of savings, because savings are absolutely necessary for anybody who does not have somebody ready and willing to bail them out financially when they need it. For a large majority of the world, even having enough to save is a luxury. So if you have the resources to do so, it's important to set yourself up with money that will be available to you the moment that you need it. But there's that really old adage, make your money work for you. And that's essentially what investing does. Rather than putting money away where you know what the exact return is going to be on the exact date that your account matures, you're putting your money into a company that you believe will rise in value and pay you back as inflation also rises. So the money that you initially deposited, as in your capital, is not affected by inflation to the same extent that a savings account would be. But of course, with increased prospects for gain, there's also increased risk. And that's essentially what you're taking on when you get into a market instead of putting your money in a bank. If the company that all of your money is in tanks, then there goes your money, you get nothing and you lose everything. And that's also part of the reason why the retail investor in Korea has not really historically been that large of a driving factor. This is something that I'm going to talk about in the next episode, so I hope that you subscribe to this channel and come back and hear my thoughts on the topic. One more reason why people are not as interested in investing as they possibly could be is because there are moral implications of investing money. Instead of putting your money in a bank where they're just going to use it to do bank things and then you will get it back eventually, you are putting your money directly into a company that will conduct itself in such a way that it increases in value. But the ways in which they do increase their value may or may not be ethical or really transparent. So let's say, like a lot of people do, you're simply investing your money in an S&P 500 index fund. That means that you are investing and buying part stocks in all of the top 500 companies in the S&P index. This is a common way that people use to diversify their portfolios without putting too much effort into it. But by doing so, a lot of people are unwittingly investing in two of the largest for-profit prison REITs that exist in America. So while people are putting their money into a system to gain more money, the money that they actually put in is going towards something that they may be personally against. So simply put, if you want to get into investing, it takes a lot more effort and a lot more time to do so ethically. You have to go through companies, you have to go through their financials, and you have to understand what you're looking at. Or you could simply do an index and live with the fact that your money might be working for something or somebody that you don't necessarily support. So, now that I've given you the pros and the cons of both savings and investments, I think it's completely up to you to decide whether or not investing in the market is something that you're actually interested in doing. Whether or not you think that it is, please come back next time and listen to a few reasons why I think that the Korean markets are undervalued. It will be the first in a 3-part series about investing in Korea, but it'll focus more on the history of investing and reasons why I think the Korean market has remained undervalued for a very long time. So, you've been watching Sekki들. As always, please let me know whether you liked this video and you found it helpful, or if you hated it and you think that I should die a very slow and painful death. If you believe the latter, it's okay. Just like and subscribe so that I hear your message and I can take action as I see fit. Thank you, everybody. I know that coronavirus is really getting bad right now, so again, mask up, take care of yourself.